home team taking on their former All-Pro Khalil Mack and the Chicago Bears. I'll see you again at halftime. But first, let's get you across the pond to good old London, England. Standing by, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one between the Chicago Bears and the Oakland Raiders. From up top, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles Davis, as always, with me as well. And CD, defenses better be on their toes in this one because we got two quarterbacks who love to throw the football, and they throw it very well.
Over 4,000 yards each in the previous season. So what you're saying is, if you're a defender, hope you're prepared properly. Hydrated, stretched, be on your toes, as you said, because the ball's coming your way.
They run it with a rookie from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. And the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
And there's offensive tackle Trent Brown, signed away from New England in the offseason on a 4-year, $66 million deal to protect his new quarterback in Oakland, Derek Carr. No stranger to the Bay Area. First 3 years in the league, where with San Francisco as a 49er, he can play left or right tackle.
On second down, Jacobs. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. A look at the starters now defensively for the Bears. They were very good a week ago in the win over Minnesota.
In today's football, there aren't a lot of goals for defenses. But when you hold a team under 100 total yards of offense, yeah, that has to be a goal that was met. Big check mark for them in last week's game.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Carr. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On 4th down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. So here now the Bears offense for their first drive of the game. They'll be led out by the comeback player of the year in 2018. A Pro Bowl quarterback as well a season ago, Andrew Luck.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win. And that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Hey, watch the slant. Check it back. One man. Come on.
Now a first down throw. Luck. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that's caught inside the 35. A huge play there for Chicago. 47 yards. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is. His ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Motion. Come on, 54. Come on. 54. We got it. Mike 5-4. Check Mike.
Now Luck. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. I call it no gain there on the first down play. And now a look at the offense for Chicago.
And a big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs? Because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Running it with the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year a season ago, Saquon Barkley. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now Love. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Oh, and they had him stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down. And that looked like a clear face mask to me. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So 1st and 10 after a big mistake on 4th down with a penalty. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
11 Mike 29. Here we go.
On 2nd and a yard. Luck. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Maurice Hurst, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Blue dead.
Throwing on 3rd down, Locke. Now a hit, and Locke lost the football. It's out. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Now Matt Bryant on for the field goal. From the left hash, this for 39. And Bryant's kick is good. And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. This is Jalen Richard, the 4th-year man from Southern Miss. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 12 yards that time at an Oakland 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 14 carries, 54 yards, and a touchdown.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Carr gives to Richard. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is
real fast?
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Throw complete there. Rodgers. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. And he's going to take this down close to a first down at about the Bears' 38. 24th pick in the spring by Oakland was Josh Jacobs. Only rushed for 640 yards last year at Alabama, but when you consider the offensive depth chart they had, it makes it understandable. So young, won't turn. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48.
Let's go, Mexico! 12. Check. Fresno. Go ahead. Fresno.
Luck now to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Throwing his line. It's caught. Jones. First catch for the NFL's leader in receiving yards a year ago, and a first down. 3-0 after one on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Jones has it. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Back to throw, Locke. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. The Bears on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16.
Here we go.
Throwing again is Locke. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4. On 1st down, Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. 2nd year in Oakland for Waller after being signed off the Ravens practice squad, but only 6 catches, 75 yards a season ago. Then he got a lot of hype in the offseason following OTAs. Their offensive coordinators saying, you know, Darren, you have that position. Coach Gruden went as far as to say, Darren, you have the chance of a lifetime here. Well, now it's time for Darren Waller to go out there and prove it. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd? He'll swing this one out to Richard. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 41-yard line.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Throwing on 2nd down.
In the middle of the field, has popped up in the air. I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Allen on the punt as he gets this one away. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October, because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started. At the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season, and of course it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. Nevin Lawson there on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Luck. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. The Bears on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Locke. Complete to Jones. 23 yards on the play.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout, but let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston, then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory, down at the 31. A give to Barkley out of the gun. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. That's something we saw over and over again in Barkley's rookie season. He had 91 catches last year, most ever by a rookie running back. Part of a fantastic rookie campaign that saw him go over 2,000 total yards. On 2nd down now. Barkley. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Back.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A first down carry for Barkley. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Saquon Barkley, his 5th touchdown now on the year as the Bears push further out in front.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better, because they had two.
Down. Throw right side going to be caught by Waller. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Carr signaling to his guys, let's go here. To throw again on second down. Carr.
About an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing, I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
On second down, Barkley, and they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down.
What we got? 11 Z. 55, Mike, 55. Hey, eat. It's a party.
Out of the gun, Luck. Eluding the pressure right. It's complete to Jones. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It's a gain of 20 as we wind down near 20 seconds left in the quarter.
Check out. 674. I got you, boy. 12. 55, come on, guys, 55.
Looking to throw on second down. Luck looking end zone for Jones. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, third down.
That was a dangerous throw towards the end zone. Boy, did it hang up there forever. Wanted to run up there and pull it down out of the sky.
Yeah, it felt like it really should have been intercepted. Lucky to have that one back.
You've got to be more careful when you're that close to the goal line.
11. 55.
Luck throwing again. He completes it to Jones. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. Luck now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10.
Watch the motion. Check 55 to Mike. Check 50. Come.
From the red zone now, Luck. And he's got it. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Saquon Barkley in the final seconds of the first half as the Bears push further out in front. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the...
Down. Blue 80. 45. Watch the pass.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
So here are the Bears to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10.
Check out. Ride 40. Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus. Big air. 12.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On 2nd down now, Barkley, and he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
55. Check 55. Mike. Let's go defense. Let's go defense. Here we go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Luck. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Check. Down. 180. Check 45. Come on. Down to lose one. Sponge.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Richard. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Carr. And that is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
This will be fielded at the 17. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Bears take over. A reminder about Sunday Night Football later tonight. It's a rematch from the divisional round last year. Colts and Chiefs from Arrowhead. Then tomorrow on Monday night, the Browns and 49ers from Levi's Stadium, where the Browns already playing their 3rd primetime game in the season's first 5 weeks. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. Here,
from the gun, here's Love. Going up top from Miller. Into double coverage, and it's entered. Guys will get the football back. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away, now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. On the draw, Richard. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. They get 5 yards on the run there. Still left staring at a 3rd and about 14.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
It's our time. It's our time.
A shotgun snap for Love. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't
Yeah,
they?
when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
From the 50, it's Love. He'll find Metcalf. 14 yards in a Chicago first down. Luck now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's Luck. Caught by Jones. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
He's crashing. He's checking crack. Alert! The mic. Check 55. The mic. I smell fear in that offense.
Again, Luck. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. George Kittle, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. As the Bears push further out in front. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people...
What now? You ready? Hey, it's coming up. Hey, let's go.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Here I come again.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. They'll find his running back here, Richard. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Give him 2 yards on that play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. This is Richard. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, That leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Slam, slam, slam. 540, easy, alert.
Now Saquon Barkley spins by. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Here's Locke. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. That'll put him right at 99 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Just beating the play clock is Locke. Jones has it. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Welcome back now here in London. A lot of folks starting to make their The Bears on third down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
That's what I do.
They go play action here on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 42-yard line.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike.
Now it's Barkley. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Now a play fake, and it's Locke. He's going to air one out. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Hey, let's get this, get this.
In his own end zone, it's Carr. Rodgers brings it in. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
He steps out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Here's Jacobs. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
It's Williams on the catch. And no forward progress here. This is going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. Taken in at the 22. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. The Bears on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll run with Barkley. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Luck on 1st down. Complete to Jones. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 1st down for the Bears, a gain of 15. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
On 1st down, Barkley. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there now. Right there. 54, right there, right there. 54, Mike. Focus, defense, focus.
Again, it's Barkley. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here.
Kill.
Greystone, travel.
Now Luck. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Barkley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
55. Hey, eat. Let's go, D. Big series right here. So we got to step it up.
Mike, 55. Right there in the middle. 55. I got you. Come on.
55 is my guy. 55. Target.
Hey, Delta.
Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Down. You ready?
Yes, Mike. Nice, sweetheart.
On 1st down, Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing again on 2nd down. Carr. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's Carr to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to turn.
They'll go for it. It's Carr. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Set the tone, defense.
Monday.
They'll run on 1st down. Barkley. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Watch the screen. Right there, 54.
11 feet.
54, Mike. I'm here all day. Slam.
Qual. Motion.
Mike.
Throwing now, Luck. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have...
Down. 185.
Check 45 at the mic. Man, I got you.
Carnell on first down. Will find his tight end. That's Waller. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Chicago, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for Oakland, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week and come back to action in Week 7. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.